Hello, I'm going to show you how we did the duo Rane. We also do a trend before this and Brack after this. So it was a long but good run. Acido's HP isn't full because we were drinking beer at the bar. Gotta keep that morale high. I've gotta say my opening wasn't very good. But at this point we were like, we've done a few attempts, they all failed for something dumb. So we're just casually reattempting. If you take it too seriously, you're gonna do something dumb. But yeah, I'm trying not to get hit too much. Well, I'm gonna get hit while I type because I'm an idiot, but other than that, so that Acid doesn't have to heal much. I'm doing that by cycling only the Frost Totem. Ice Totem is way too expensive, not worth the DPS loss, and the book. And then I can waste an Ice Totem by getting a hit immediately in between, or take a hit when the cycles don't quite work. Not Ice Frost Totem. Because my goal is to get the Frost Totem to sit on the ground for as long as possible, so that it not only takes a hit and doesn't get me webbed, but it does as much damage as possible. Yeah, the books are extremely valuable, because they also do decent damage, but for saving the damage on you. But as you can see, I'm quite confident this will work. It's why I'm also using potions. We're just having fun with it. Oh, they are just slow, but it was a mistake to... I mean, I didn't need to use the Frost Totem at all. Because if you're going to use a book, why use a totem? You're either going to get it hit for no reason, or just leave it alive, and at that point, just use a spear, because the spear is more mana efficient. But yeah, even the hit before that, there was no point for. I can't say I'm playing my best. My DPS is way lower. I should be at like 320 at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't have to play perfectly. You get the point anyway. It's much better just to get those attempts in, because one of them will work. Not your best one, just one. Over there, yeah, see, I don't use the Frost Totem because the shield is up. But I do pre-place one. They last for 6 seconds, which is decent. I don't know how many of mine will get to live that long, but if they get close, I'm very satisfied. And yeah, I mean, I messed up a double hit there. I thought my Frost Totem would expire, so I took a hit. If you keep an eye on the double hits, I make plenty of mistakes, but I still get enough of them to work for it to be very worth it. And I'm only using Versi when I'm trying for a double hit, because the spear is more mana efficient, it doesn't matter. Over there, if I hadn't used the potion, I probably would have gotten out in time. Not a mistake. Decent double hit. Shield. Acid Dog gets hit by a double shot. We both react to it, because it's a bit of a joke how often it would happen, especially doing in range and just wipe him out. He doesn't carry HP potions, which is not ideal, but if you don't want it, you don't want it. I don't think they carry mana potions either, but I'm not sure they would need them. I don't know. Their goal is to run out of mana by the end of this, by the time in range comes, because after in range they're not able to spend all their mana. They're just getting constantly interrupted. No legacy items either. Although I say that as a negative, even though with legacy items you can't dodge. But like the Risado is 0.8 versus 1.5. If I were in Acido's position, I would use legacy Risado. I would also likely die to it during a range at least once. That was a mistake. I wanted to double hit, but I failed and the totem expired, and then I took 2 hits, which is quite bad. If you know you're going to get webbed, try and get some distance, because he'll have to walk a couple of extra blocks. He's more likely to manage to shoot a range shot instead of hit you. And most of the time you'll only get hit by 1 hit, which is the same as taking a shot. It's like, if your book is around 10 seconds off, you can just accept to get webbed, be far enough away, and then you only get one shot anyway, which is the same as taking one on purpose, and you gain a few seconds off the web. I can't say I'm timing my books very well. I like to use my books as soon as I get them, and not interrupt them with turns. Like, that's a bad totem because I'm going to get the book anyway. I realize this and kill it early, which I don't think is smart, but I then use the book and let it run down to as low as possible before getting hit by it. But yeah, I definitely like this type of tanking. It's extremely fun to do it with Shaman. Get a double hit in there, still get hit by the book. Very nice. Also, I can't spam the spears, so I also don't have to worry about being inefficient if I don't manage to. Over there, I didn't notice that my totem disappeared right before I got hit, and it did cost me. I was about to use the totem, but then I noticed that I had the book. Good save. I get this frost totem hit a bit too early, but a random shot lets it survive a bit more, which is good. Good double shot there. My favorite type of double hitting is when I'm just standing in front of him, and then I cast it and move down right before he's able to cast, so he moves down with me. But I think the most useful would be where you just move a block below him, you see him coming to the blocks next to you, and then react. But I'm a bit slow to get that consistently. So I did the first of the two I described there. I'm not sure if I did it right or not, I didn't quite notice. I messed up a double hit there. But even with all the double hits I'm messing up, it's well worth it. In a cleaner run, I would be above 300 DPS for sure. Closer to 310. Good stuff. There, that was a double hit. Gotta take him down to the totem. That's always a risky run. But he low rolled. I mean, it was annoying that he was able to hit me twice, not gonna lie. But I haven't tanked that much with this style. I think if I get enough practice on it, there can be many interesting tactics that emerge. Or just like small improvements. Yeah, thinking back, he is able to get 2 shots off pretty consistently. With Brack, it's a lot easier to get webbed on purpose and only take 1. If you are trying to get double hits, be careful because they can walk through and then not get hit at all. There was going to be one, but he random shot instead. Cat is a good place to practice because she also has random shots quite often as well. And she doesn't do much damage, easy to access. You can even try it out solo, although if you don't know what you're doing, you'll get hit by quite a few randoms. I bet the frost round is going to expire. Oh, it doesn't. That's nice. So if you can get a friend, that's all the better. But if not, just run enough heal for it not to be a problem. Decent shield. I got that frost totem hit too early. If I delayed it right, I would have been able to go to the next shield. And rage is coming, so I have to use a nice totem. Oh yeah, with range coming, would I have been able to use the shield? Thinking back, that was a stupid comment. So yeah, I want to use Ice Totem into early frost, into ice, into early frost. That's how I like to. Like, the early frost gives you a bit of DPS, also a few more options. I walked back into that. Quite dumb. But my potion plus a resto gets me up relatively quickly. You can get 1 shot if you get hit, so you do not want to be getting hit. Rane's pretty fast, keeps you on your toes. With a book, you can't get 1 shot because you've got 2600 HP. The damage is double of normal. Like doing 1000 damage Isn't common, but isn't difficult for Rane. 1300 is unheard of. Unless you're like a crappy armor mage. Shaman's got the same armor as a fighter, and I've got plenty of experience seeing fighters getting hit. Like, Rane can do 1200. Does the special shot do more? Not sure. Brack can get like 1250. Yeah, that was kind of sketchy, but thankfully it worked out. A lot of times if things aren't going to work, I'll just use a book and call it a day. Much safer, I would say. But I do feel like I have to let my frost totems live a bit longer. Like that frost totem got hit way too early. Like the ice totem is going to be close. If you used a random shot there and I was forced to dodge, I would have likely choked the run. I used the book because I didn't like my timers, didn't want to risk it. And it paid off because he missed the ice totem. If it was that close, that would have likely ended in disaster. I repeat it when I can, spear if I have extra mana. No point using Versi because, I mean, maybe getting a double hit here is possible, but I'm not at a point where I want to try that. I think I did it accidentally at one point, but that's about it. Yeah, that worried me. Looking back, I might have used the book, but all's well that ends well. Yeah, at this point it gets quite tedious. It's a lot less stressful looking back. You're like, hey, this is simple, but when you're there, Rane is running all over the place. Gotta keep track of all the timers. But it is much nicer that you get to stay in just like the same 3 blocks. 5 if something goes wrong. I used that totem too early. I would have booked, but then I made a mistake and I doubled back and got hit, which worked instead of a book. As you can see, the frost totems do last a while because time moves slower during a range. Not literally, of course. So if I could change one thing, I was just slow there and got hit. There's no excuse for it. If I could change one thing, it would be letting my frost totems last a bit longer. Like even there, I could have gotten one hit later and it would have been much nicer. Because like you're working with 10 seconds. Like the cooldowns are both around 10. It's what, 9.6 and 12? The web is at 10 seconds. That frost totem, I don't know how close it was to expiring, but it did a very good job. So like the frost totem lasts 6 seconds. So it's around the middle. If you get hit around 5, it's perfect. And practically it lasts more than 6 seconds because you're not going to use it right after you get hit by the frost. There's a cast time. Ice, right after you get the ice hit. Yeah. There were a few points where I was close to getting webbed. Definitely can be improved. But the main idea is here. It's definitely much better to play full shaman. Like even on the trainer window cheat it did again on this run, full shaman works better. I was just using heal because that's what I was doing in my solos. I didn't think about it too much. Because like if you play it right, asset doesn't even need to heal that much. And you want asset to be nerfed because it's way too easy for a mage to OT when you're wasting hundreds of mana on potions. Yeah, that's it.